Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, where we help you build your confidence and skills in English, step by step. I'm Jason, your host, and today we're diving into an exciting topic: speak like a pro. Whether you're aiming to excel in interviews, nail a presentation, or simply sound more confident in your daily conversations, this episode is for you. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's explore what it really takes to speak like a pro.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julia, your co-host. It's so great to be here with all of you. You know, Jason, I still remember my first big presentation in English. I was so nervous I could barely hold my notes. I kept thinking, what if I mess up? But here's the thing. Becoming a professional speaker is a journey. And trust me, anyone can get there with the right tools and practice. That's exactly what we'll share with you today.
That's such a relatable story, Julia. A lot of people think that speaking like a pro means you have to be perfect. But in reality, it's about sounding clear, confident, and authentic. And we'll show you how to master all of that in today's episode.
Exactly. So whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced English learner, stick with us because we've got some great tips, strategies, and even a fun role play to help you level up your speaking skills.
All right, let's get started. First, let's talk about what it really means to speak like a pro. All right, let's start by answering the big question. What does it mean to speak like a pro? Julia, when you hear that phrase, what comes to your mind?
Great question, Jason. For me, speaking like a pro means three things: clarity, confidence, and connection. First, you need to speak clearly so your message is understood. Second, confidence, because if you don't believe in your words, others won't either. And finally, connection. You need to engage with your audience, whether it's one person or 100.
Exactly. And I'd add one more thing: being purposeful. Professional communication isn't just about saying a lot of words, it's about saying the right words. Think of it this way: speaking like a pro means you're not just talking, you're delivering a message that leaves an impact.
That's so true, and it applies to all kinds of situations: job interviews, meetings, presentations, or even casual conversations. When you speak like a pro, people listen. They trust you and respect what you're saying.
Yes, and here's an important point. You don't have to sound perfect or use fancy words to speak professionally. It's more about how you structure your thoughts, the tone of your voice, and how you connect with the listener. In other words, it's a skill that anyone can learn.
Right, and it doesn't matter if you're a beginner in English. As long as you focus on these key elements, clarity, confidence, connection, and purpose, you can start improving right away.
Exactly. So now that we know what it means to speak like a pro, let's talk about something just as important: the challenges that many learners face when trying to achieve this. All right, now that we know what it means to speak like a pro, let's talk about the challenges that many English learners face on this journey. Julia, what do you think is one of the biggest struggles?
Oh, Jason, there are so many. But if I had to pick one, I'd say it's fear of making mistakes. This is something I hear from learners all the time. They're so worried about using the wrong word or mispronouncing something that they end up staying silent.
That's a big one, Julia, and it's completely natural. Nobody wants to feel embarrassed. But here's the truth: mistakes are part of the learning process. If you're not making mistakes, you're probably not challenging yourself enough.
Exactly. Another challenge I've noticed is lack of vocabulary. Some learners feel like they don't know the right words to express their ideas, so they either use very basic language or get stuck mid-sentence.
That's a great point. It's frustrating when you have something important to say, but you can't find the words to say it. And speaking of getting stuck, Another big challenge is nervousness or stage fright, especially in professional settings like presentations or meetings.
Oh, I can relate to that one. I remember my first big meeting in English. I was so nervous, my hands were shaking. For a lot of people, just the thought of speaking in front of others can be overwhelming.
Absolutely. And here's another one. Using filler words like um, or you know. While it's normal to use them occasionally, too many fillers can make you sound unsure of yourself.
True. Another challenge is not structuring your thoughts properly. Sometimes learners start speaking without a clear plan, and their sentences end up sounding jumbled or confusing.
Right. And let's not forget pronunciation and tone. Some learners worry that their accent will make it hard for others to understand them, or they might struggle to use the right tone for the situation.
Yes, pronunciation and tone can definitely impact how your message is received. But here's the good news. All of these challenges are completely fixable with the right strategies and consistent practice.
Exactly. And in the next section, we're going to share some practical tips to help you overcome these challenges and start speaking like a pro. Stick with us. All right, it's time for the part you've all been waiting for. Our top tips to help you speak like a pro. Julia, what's the first tip you'd share with our listeners?
Jason, I'd start with one of the most important skills. Practice active listening. Before you can speak well, you need to listen well. Pay attention to how native speakers or experienced communicators talk. Notice their tone, word choices, and even their pauses.
That's such a great point, Julia. And here's a related tip. Expand your vocabulary. The more words you know, the easier it becomes to express yourself clearly and confidently. But don't just memorize lists. Focus on learning words and phrases you'll actually use in real-life situations.
Exactly. And speaking of real-life situations, another great tip is to practice out loud, whether you're talking to yourself in the mirror, recording your voice, or speaking with a language partner. Saying the words out loud helps you get comfortable and build muscle memory.
I love that. And when you're practicing, don't forget to focus on pronunciation and tone. You don't have to sound exactly like a native speaker, but try to pronounce words clearly and use a tone that matches the situation. For example, a formal tone for meetings and a friendly tone for casual conversations.
Yes, tone is so important. And here's another tip. Slow down. Many learners feel they have to speak quickly to sound fluent, but that often leads to mistakes or mumbling. Speaking at a steady pace not only makes you easier to understand, but also gives you time to think.
That's a great one, Julia. And here's a tip that really helps with confidence. Prepare key phrases in advance. If you know you're going to have a meeting, a presentation, or even a casual conversation, think about what you want to say and practice those phrases beforehand.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the power of body language. Even if you're speaking on a video call or over the phone, your posture and gestures can influence how confident and professional you sound.
That's such a good reminder. And here's a tip for those who struggle with nerves. Practice mindfulness and breathing techniques. Taking a few deep breaths before speaking can help calm your mind and make you sound more composed.
And finally, don't forget to seek feedback. Ask a teacher, a friend, or even use apps that provide feedback on your speaking. Knowing what you're doing well and what needs improvement can help you grow much faster.
Exactly. Remember, speaking like a pro doesn't happen overnight. It's all about consistent practice and a willingness to learn. Start with one or two of these tips and build from there.
Right. And coming up next, we're going to do a quick role play to show you how these tips work in action. Stay with us.
Now, to make these tips more practical, let's dive into a couple of role-play scenarios. Julia and I will demonstrate how you can apply these techniques in real-life situations. Ready, Julia?
Absolutely, Jason. Let's start with a common situation, introducing yourself in a formal setting, like a job interview or networking event.
All right, I'll play the interviewer, and Julia, you're the candidate. Let's begin. Good morning, Julia. Can you tell me a little about yourself?
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Julia, and I have a background in project management with over 5 years of experience leading cross-functional teams. I specialize in improving workflows and ensuring projects are completed on time and within budget. In my previous role, I successfully implemented a new project tracking system that increased efficiency by 20%. I'm passionate about creating organized and productive environments, and I'm excited to bring this expertise to your team.
Great response, Julia. Let's break that down for our listeners. What you did there was a fantastic example of speaking like a pro. You were clear, confident, and purposeful. You started with a friendly greeting, highlighted your key strengths, and ended on a positive note. Excellent job.
Thank you, Jason. And listeners, notice how I prepared key points in advance. That made it easier for me to stay focused and avoid rambling.
Now, let's try another situation. Responding to a challenging question during a team meeting. Julia, I'll ask you a tough question, and you'll demonstrate how to handle it professionally. Julia, we noticed the last project exceeded the budget by 10%. Can you explain what happened and how we can prevent this in the future?
Thank you for bringing that up, Jason. While we did go slightly over budget, it was primarily due to unexpected vendor price increases. To address this, I've already started researching alternative suppliers with more stable pricing. Additionally, I'm implementing a contingency budget plan for future projects to better prepare for such situations. I take full responsibility and am confident that these changes will ensure we stay within budget moving forward.
Another great response, Julia. You stayed calm, acknowledged the issue, and immediately focused on solutions. That's exactly how a pro handles a tough question.
Thanks, Jason. And for our listeners, remember, when you're faced with a difficult question, take a moment to think before answering. Stay composed, be honest about the situation, and focus on what you're doing to improve.
All right, let's do one more. Making small talk at a networking event. Julia, let's say we've just met. I'll start. Hi, I'm Jason. I work in marketing. How about you?
Hi, Jason. Nice to meet you. I'm Julia, and I work in project management. Marketing sounds interesting. What kind of projects are you working on right now?
I'm currently leading a campaign for a new product launch. It's been exciting, but also pretty challenging. What about you? What's your favorite part of project management?
That sounds exciting. For me, I love seeing a project come together. It's so satisfying to take an idea and turn it into something tangible that benefits a team or organization.
Great conversation, Julia. You kept the tone light, showed interest, and shared just enough about yourself to keep the flow going. These are all key aspects of professional communication.
Thanks, Jason. And listeners, small talk doesn't have to be intimidating. Focus on being friendly and curious. It's a great way to build connections.
Exactly. We hope these examples give you a clear idea of how to apply the tips we've shared. Next, we'll wrap things up with some final thoughts and encouragement. So don't go anywhere. All right, everyone, as we wrap up this episode, let's leave you with some motivation to take the first steps toward speaking like a pro. Julia, what's one thing you'd like our listeners to remember?
I'd say this: don't be afraid to start small. Every professional speaker was once a beginner. You don't need to be perfect to make progress. Just focus on improving one thing at a time, whether it's your vocabulary, pronunciation, or confidence. Remember, small steps lead to big changes.
That's so true, Julia. And I'll add this. Speaking like a pro isn't about being flawless. It's about being authentic and intentional. People value your ideas, not just the way you say them. So don't let fear of mistakes hold you back. Use every conversation as an opportunity to grow.
Exactly, Jason. And for our listeners who might feel nervous, remember, confidence comes from practice. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems.
Yes, and speaking of celebrating progress, don't forget to reflect on how far you've already come. Whether it's saying your first sentence in English or holding a full conversation, every milestone matters. Believe in yourself because we believe in you.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of learners just like you, and resources like this podcast are here to support you every step of the way.
That's right. You've got this. Speaking like a pro is within your reach, and with consistent effort, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep speaking.
We're so proud of you for taking this step, and don't forget to share your journey with us. We'd love to hear about your progress.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember to subscribe to our podcast for more episodes and share this with anyone who might find it helpful. Until next time, keep speaking, keep shining, and speak like a pro.
Bye for now, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Before we wrap up completely, let's talk about how you can take what you've learned today and put it into action. Julia, what's the first step our listeners can take right now?
The first step is simple. Practice. Start by picking one tip we shared today, like slowing down your speech or focusing on clear pronunciation. Then, apply it in your daily conversations or even when talking to yourself. Consistency is key.
Great advice, Julia. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Join a community of English learners, like an online group or a local language club, where you can practice speaking regularly and get feedback.
Also, don't forget to use the resources around you. Listen to English podcasts, watch videos, and try shadowing techniques to improve your fluency and intonation. You can even re-listen to this episode and practice along with us.
And here's a challenge for you. Record yourself speaking about any topic for 1 minute. Listen back to identify areas for improvement, and then try again. It's a great way to track your progress and build confidence.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your progress or ask questions in the comments section of this podcast. Let's learn and grow together.
And if you found today's episode helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. It helps us reach more learners like you. Plus, we've got plenty more episodes filled with tips and strategies to help you master English.
Absolutely. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We're here to support you on your journey every step of the way.
So, take that first step today. Practice speaking like a pro, even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first. You'll get better with time and effort. Thanks for listening, and we can't wait to see you again in the next episode.
Bye for now, and keep striving toward your goals. You've got this.